Hey, what's going on, guys? We do have a little bit of, I don't know, I don't say it's bad news just because we were involved with the platform for almost a decade. We've had 3 S550s. While the S650 is cool and all, it's just something that I don't think we really want to focus on. You know, we're just kind of changing our horizons a little bit. We've had a lot of changes in the past couple months, and yes, I have not posted a video. I haven't posted a video in a few months. I wanted to go up to Detroit to go see the new Ranger Raptor and the new Ranger offerings, which, as you can see back there, yep, back there, we still have the Ranger, but we have had quite a few different changes to our fleet of vehicles that kind of fit our lifestyle personally and what we want to do with our stuff. So the biggest thing is the Explorer ST. If you've been following along on our social media, we got the Explorer ST back in January. We have been kind of stagnant with it for a few months just because, you know, we did get a tune. I put out the tune by ZFG, which, by the way, we're switching away from ZFG to Rob Shoemaker. Rob Shoemaker tuned our Mustang. We're switching away from ZFG. That's going to be a completely separate video. That's going to be a longer video. We're going to talk about why we're switching. But yes, you know, we got this tuned on E50, E30 pump gas, absolute killer of a tune. Like, it stomps on a lot of stuff out there. If you saw my TRX video, you definitely know what this SUV is capable of. But on top of that, we have definitely, we're starting to step up what we're doing with the Explorer ST and partnering up with Steeda. Steeda has been gracious enough. I mean, we had worked with Steeda in the past. We've had some Steeda parts previously on our vehicle, and it's a brand that we trust, and we're going to be diving deep into this Explorer with the parts from Steeda. So let's go ahead and take a look real quick at these parts from Steeda. So as you can see, there's quite a few things here laying on the ground. We have got the toe links for the suspension. We've got the Steeda sway bar. We've got the big intercooler. I mean, if this gives you an idea how big this intercooler, that's my hand. And the stock intercooler on the Explorer ST is very, very small. You can't really see it behind there. There's like a fan shroud.
There's also a tower brace on there.
Oh yeah, the strut tower brace. So we'll talk about that in a second. But yes, you can kind of see the intercooler right here. If you know Ford EcoBoost, you know that they don't really spend a lot on like giving you a big intercooler. These heat soak really fast. This Steeda intercooler solves that problem. Really high quality part. The paint, the powder coating, just overall the welds look really good. And obviously the fitment's going to be great. We're going to be installing that in the coming weeks, maybe this weekend, we'll see. And then over here is the Mac Daddy rear diff brace. And if you know anything about Explorers and Explorer STs, you know that some of them came with 2-bolt rear ends to hold the rear diff, but Ford made the decision to switch away from 2 bolts down to 1 bolt, which definitely can cause some issues on aftermarket vehicles, like aftermarket tuning, launching really hard at the track, causing that snap, the bolt to snap, causing some problems. Now, if you take a look at this, I mean, it's like, you could tell how well built this is, and it covers both sides. Currently, we're running an AWR, which is probably okay, but this is definitely extra insurance. Of course, like, it's gonna look totally badass on the back end. It's gonna look real tough, and it's just gonna help us as we increase in power, which we're gonna talk about in a few minutes. The increase in power, you definitely want to make sure that rear end is secure in the back. Now, if we move over here, we have got, you know how we are, right? You know, every vehicle we have, we either, when we go to Mexico with our vehicles, we remove the catalytic converters for racing purposes only. We always put our cats back on when we go back on the street. So when we're at the track, we put our catless stuff on. But these are catted. We're definitely more environmental with this build. We're very concerned about the environment. So we went with SPD downpipes for the Explorer and mid pipes for the Explorer ST. Really high quality piece. Obviously with SPD, you know you're getting a really high quality product. Now, I mean, if you look at those welds, they look absolutely fantastic. It's a solid product. Our friend Sean up in Ohio works for Corsa. We went to go visit him. Here's a couple pictures. We got to go visit the Corsa facility, and of course we run Corsa exhaust on our Explorer. We've ran it on the Mustangs. I've had like 4 different Corsa exhaust systems. Absolutely love their stuff. Their facility is so top-notch, and which, by the way, I've never visited a exhaust facility before, and I gotta tell you, they were working on like a C8 Z06. The amount of like engineer work you can see, you know, polishing the tips, welding, just their whole production line. You can see why they're the price the way they are. You know you're getting a really good product. But anyways, that's a, you know, maybe another topic for a different video. Now, this box right here was kind of a surprise for us because this isn't something we planned, but inside this box is a set of pure 650 turbos. And yes, we are swapping the turbos. Haven't even owned it a year. No. I think we're what?
6 months.
6 months. We're 6 months into owning this daily driver. And this daily driver is getting new turbos. Because the stock turbos weren't enough, I guess. But we'll talk about these. We'll continue build updates. You know, I'm going to show you guys what goes on with swapping turbos, the install, the tuning process, and just our overall impressions if this is something that you guys want to look at in the future. I still feel like the Explorer ST platform is still pretty young in terms of like modifiable platforms. So I think, you know, especially with the Ranger, when we got it, it was still pretty young too. Like it was a new platform, at least for the US market. And you just couldn't find a lot of information on mods. And it's kind of the same way with this. There's not a lot of people that are going outside of the tune and fueling changes. You know, Tyler Clark is probably the head of like the bleeding edge of like Explorer ST communities modifications. But sometimes, you know, we all go a different route. You know, Tyler, I think, is trying to go for like the stock turbo record. I don't think we're not chasing records. We just want to have fun with the build. There are guys, there's a guy in the 10s right now. There's plenty of people in the 11s. People are definitely pushing this platform pretty hard. And overall it's holding up. Now, obviously, my personal opinions from what I see, the 3-liter twin turbo is a very strong engine. I have not seen any engine failures from track use, turning it up, aftermarket turbos. The transmission, the 10R60, definitely can't handle all the abuse over and over. So if you're beating on the car every single weekend at the track, trans brake, hard pulls, quarter-mile pulls, you're definitely going to be on borrowed time. I think when you're under 600, I think you're going to be okay, but you know, your mileage may vary. It's just, it comes with the territory of modding any vehicle beyond its intended limits. Now, do I think Ford should have put the 10R80 in here instead of the 10R60? Of course. You know, they moved to the 10R60 in the Ford Rangers and the Ranger Raptor. To me, it doesn't make any sense, but you know what? I don't work for Ford. That's just my personal opinion. Now, so with that being said, we have got some updates on the Explorer ST2 on the outside over here. Now, let me see if I can maybe walk around to the other side to show you guys exactly what changed with the outside Explorer. So, like I said, we went to go visit Corsa, and we picked these bad boys up. It's kind of dark outside. You can't really see the bronze, but these are bronze Vossen hybrid forged HF3s. HF3. So these are 22s, gosh, with Michelin Pilot Sports, Super Sports, really expensive tire, 305, 35, 22, square setup all the way around. It has been lowered with lethal springs, and it's been riding great. We don't have any issues. Yeah, so that's one of the biggest updates that we have with the Explorer. Now, if we take a look at the back, we have this rear diffuser that get installed for the hitch cover. It's pretty cool, a little bit of a race look to it. Definitely aftermarket look. Gives the Explorer a definite more meaner look in the back end. Of course, the Corsa exhaust. Outside of that, for the most part, this has been mildly modded on the outside. If we go to the engine bay, who made this cover right here? FenFab. Okay, so we've got some FenFab parts on here. Got this ECU cover, black. Julie decided to go with mostly black appearance parts. I know a lot of people, I probably would have done red, so make it stand out, but it does look really clean with the black. So Julie's going to illuminate this part, and this is the FenFab charge pipe with the tile, or no, with the Turbo Smart Raceport wall valve. Yep. Sounds really good.
And then we got the Steeda strut tower brace.
Yep, we got the Steeda strut tower brace, and now, so ours came with the strut tower brace, and I was like, oh, why do we need a strut tower brace? But I did take the strut tower brace off, the stock one, and it was definitely thin aluminum.
Yeah,
it's
flimsy.
Very flimsy. So, not to knock on Ford, but they tend to do thin aluminum skid plates. They tend to do a lot of thin aluminum on a lot of performance parts that shouldn't be as thin. Now, the Steeda stuff, really strong bar, bolts in really nicely. Took me like 5 minutes to get this on. Uses the stock mounting locations. Definitely a nice upgrade. And I know on the air filter you changed it out to...
Yeah, to AFE dry drop-in.
Yep, so AFE filter. We're back and forth on intake just because I feel like the stock intake box is pretty efficient. If we did move away from like an intake, if we moved away from the stock intake, we probably would go with more of an open element filter so that we could hear the turbo spool, all that jazz. So, all right, now the elephant in the room. People are probably going to be asking, well, why did you get rid of the Mustang? What are you guys, you see other cars in our driveway. You see this, bought a BMW, right? Like, when on earth would you guys expect me to invest in a BMW, any BMW? Well, that's not the only one. I did test drive, was a newer M3. It was like a 2018 M3, modded. Felt really awesome. But at the end of the day, it's like, we have had 800 horsepower cars, 700 horsepower cars. I've had some track builds. I've had all-wheel drive. We have the Explorer ST, which is pretty quick for what it is. I really like the car, but I didn't like it enough to say, you know what? I want to invest $55,000 plus into this car, track it, pay for the maintenance, pay for, I mean, brakes, tires, and anything else that comes with tracking in an M3 consistently, maybe 4 or 5 times a year. So we made some adjustments. Now, the i3 is going to be a separate video, and you guys knew we had a Nissan Leaf at one time, and really love the Nissan Leaf. This is both gas, and this is both, it's gas and electric. So if we look on this side, you see that there are 2 ports. Right here on this port is the gas tank, and over here is the charge. So the really cool part of this car that a lot of people don't know about, and I didn't really know about until we were starting to look for another daily driver that was going to replace the Leaf. We were considering another Leaf, but the thing with the Leaf was the technology was kind of older for the ones that in the price range we were looking at, like 13, 14,000, 15,000. They didn't come with any like hybrid type gas models, and this one's interesting. It's definitely not like your normal type of hybrid. But I want you guys to take a look at this. This is really cool. So as we open it up, and I'm going to do a full video on this separately for those that are actually interested in learning about this car as a daily driver. Absolutely cool interior. If you look inside, opens up suicide doors. Now the entire tub of this car is carbon fiber, all the way from the roof all the way around the belly. Like, everything is carbon fiber. Even, I can't open the hatch right now, but you can see the exposed carbon fiber in the hatch. As far as electric cars, this is a really lightweight one. It's slightly over 3,000 pounds, I think. It drives absolutely phenomenal. Does great on the road and highway, and you can take it on long trips. Super comfortable, super quiet on the inside, and just overall a great choice for us as a daily driver. So if you're an enthusiast and you're looking for a nice daily driver, that on this 2017 we get about 120 miles electric only, and you can get about close to 100 miles on gas. But if you want to, you could just keep putting 2 gallons in, and you can keep going on gas if you want to, and keep your battery going. So if you daily drive every day, you know, 80 to 90 miles or less, I mean, you can drive this to work. You could take longer trips in it. There's plenty of room. The seats full flat. Anyways, new daily driver. This is our daily. This, Julie takes it to work. I take it to work. We share this vehicle. We'll take the dogs around in this. And for the price that we got it for, it just made sense for us. Obviously, the looks might not be your cup of tea. I mean, you know, it's a BMW. Not a lot of people, you know, there's plenty of people that don't like BMWs. But overall, for our experience, if it stays reliable, which it should, you know, we're going to enjoy this car for a very long time. Obviously, if something happens to it, I'll make a post. And the other announcement, the final announcement for this video, we have one more announcement before the sun goes down. And that announcement is at the end of the driveway. I am finally back in a Fiesta ST platform. And I gotta tell you guys, I missed having my Fiesta. I had a 2019 white platinum Fiesta ST, and out of all the cars that I had, it was by far my favorite car I've ever owned. The Fiesta was such a fun car, track wise, modification wise. Like, you know, the mods were great, you know, big turbo kits, chassis bracing, brakes, like the way this thing handles over the Focus ST I had years ago. I have never repurchased another car that I previously owned. You know, it's like a big reason why I don't really want the S650. I don't want another S550. I don't want another Mustang weight car that will have that same power. I prefer the 400-ish, 350-ish wheel horsepower go-kart type car, and I'm not going to pay $50,000-$60,000 over MSRP for a Corolla GR, right? Like, there's not much out there for this price that will probably give me the feeling that this car will. Now, we'll go ahead and open it up. It's so spec wise, this is a 2014 model year car with Recaros, heated Recaros, screen, sync. Do have an access port already in there. It's getting kind of dark, so I'm going to try to wrap up this video. 2014. Now, the cool thing about this car, it took us a little while to find one that we wanted. There were some other low mileage Fiesta STs out there we wanted to go see, but they were pretty beat. The paint condition wasn't that great. The service records were kind of iffy. We went to go see one, and it looked like it was definitely abused, and it only had 33,000 miles on it. But this is a 2014, 57,000 miles. But when I say this was bone stock, the previous owner, I mean, if you look at the window seals, typically these are all faded out and cracked. Up here on the roof, they're usually faded out. I mean, my 2019 was starting to get faded pretty bad. Whoever had this definitely probably kept it in a garage, really took care of it. The stock wheels still have brand new Michelin AS3 tires, so they invested in good tires for this car. They didn't put like whatever cheapo Chinese tires on their Fiesta. There's no blow-off valve. There's not even a rear motor mount, which typically if you're a Fiesta enthusiast, your first thing that you do is you do a rear motor mount on these, and like some little things, right? Like, I've put an intake on here already. Shout out to Whoosh Motorsports. They've been super awesome with quick shipping and great prices on their products. Super happy to be back in this platform. Like I said, I mean, it is optioned out just like my previous one, and overall I almost want to say it's in better condition than my 19 was when I traded it in. And I traded it in with 57,000 miles, and this one's got almost the identical mileage. So it's like I'm starting from stock again, which is fine because I learned a lot with the last car, and I plan on putting that knowledge to good use when building this car again. This one is definitely not leaving the family probably ever. You know, I learned my lesson. Now, you know, I did trade my Fiesta in, and we traded the Leaf in to get the Explorer ST. We've got the Explorer ST, and we got rid of the Mustang, and you know, we had been back and forth on what we wanted to buy. Did we want to go crazy? Did we want to get an A90 Supra? And the A90 Supra is an awesome car for like $55,000, $60,000. Then I remembered I kept pace with the stock turbo on the E30 with this at amp behind an A90 Supra, and it kind of just, it's a cool car, but like, is it worth $55,000 to me? At least not so much. I plan on building this car and having a lot of fun with it. So we're at 20 minutes on this video, and I've been trying to keep it pretty simple, but I appreciate you guys watching this video. Obviously the Ranger's not going anywhere. It has been hot, it has been humid, it has been absolutely miserable this whole summer with the heat wave that's been going on. We haven't been doing much camping, but as soon as fall weather starts to hit, we're going to be back up in North Georgia. We're going to be camping. We're going to be doing maybe some fall track days. If I can get some suspension and brakes on this thing and a radiator, I'm going to be out on track. I'm going to be feeling out this car. We're going to be back out camping. We're going to be working on the Explorer ST platform. Guys, I'm so excited to share all this content. Yeah, we might not have like the craziest builds and You know, there's other guys out there that are doing way crazier things on YouTube. But you know, for me at least, I watch more of the guys that are doing the things that I'm doing. So hopefully, if you're into Rangers, you're into the Explorer ST, you're into the Fiesta, or the i3, maybe you're into, you know, that sort of thing, which whatever. I hope you guys enjoy our videos to come in the coming months, the years, and those of you guys that are still with us now, even after the Mustang, I truly appreciate everybody's support, your kindness, and appreciate all the companies that still support us to this day, even though we have left some platforms. You guys are awesome, and catch you in the next video. Bye.